The Jan Muller Pass is a short steep pass with a descent and ascent over the Goritz River via a low-level concrete bridge, which is also named after Jan Muller. It's located on the R327 connecting Van Wykstorp with Herbertsdale. This rugged gravel road pass is fairly short at 3.6 kilometers and descends very steeply down the western side, then ascends in a series of tight switchbacks after crossing the Goritz River at an altitude of just 68 meters above sea level. This little-known pass starts at its western end just before the big descent into the Goritz River Gorge. At the bend at the beginning of the pass, you'll see another gravel road leading off to your left. This road leads through various remote farms and provides an alternative shortcut to the farm known as Dwars in die Weg. The road surface on this section of the descent is usually quite rough and rutted, so drive slowly to avoid the deep ruts and loose stones. The descent gets progressively steeper for the next 500 meters, where a sign warns drivers of the dangers. A large view site known as Willise Uitkijkpunt is located at the 0.5 kilometer point on the left-hand side of the road. The views are sweeping both up and downstream of the Goritz River and its impressively deep gorge. The Jan Muller Bridge can also be seen from this vantage point. When there's water flowing in the river, the bridge marks the starting point for whitewater adventure rafting trips. The Goritz and most of its tributaries drain a vast area of the Karoo, and therefore the flow is sporadic to the point that sometimes there's no water flow for years. Based on the data, your traverse over this pass will more than likely be a no-water scenario, but be warned that when the river does come down in flood, it's an extremely powerful and dangerous river to cross. If the bridge is underwater, do not attempt the crossing, as it could easily cost you your life. The entire Goritz system, which is shaped like a deltoid leaf, consists of a number of rivers which emerge from the encompassing mountains, usually through spectacular poorts, and then unite to form one river near the coast. Only the lower 129 kilometers is named Goritz. The drainage area is 44,000 square kilometers, 370 kilometers wide from east to west, and only 257 kilometers long from north to south. The most important branches of the system are the Buffalo River from the west, with its main tributary being the Toosrivier, together forming the Grootrivier, which joins the main stream 85 kilometers from the sea. In the middle we have the Gamka River, with its main tributary being the Dweke, and from the east the Olifants River and the Kamanassi, and some smaller streams rising north of the Swartberg Range. The water runoff is generally low and is sharply divided between the small but very important perennial flows from numerous mountain streams and the occasional big floods, which are sometimes very destructive. There's no irrigation from the main stream, which has cut so deep a channel that water cannot be economically taken from it. After the bridge, the road meanders up the eastern side of the gorge via a number of switchbacks, but the gradients are much kinder. After the second switchback, you'll get good views of the descent that you've just completed a few minutes earlier. The views on the eastern side are attractive, but less dramatic than those on the western side. The eastern ascent is also much longer than the western descent, utilizing almost 60% of the distance. However, the gradients are fairly even on this ascent at 1 in 12. The ascent also provides some good views of the river gorge. The Goritz River winds through a gap in the mountains with the Vryserand Range to the east and the Langeberg to the west. Once over the eastern side, continue for 5 kilometers to reach the start of Klutties Pass, and from there onwards to Herbertsdale and ultimately Mossel Bay.